Hello, welcome to my house and welcome to my channel. I'm Laura Cepeda and today I'm going to show you something very easy and fast. Remember that I love to share this kind of videos that are very useful for your coming projects. Well, today I'm going to show you how you can make this cross stitch. I'm going to teach you how you can make it easier and how you combine colors. You can use it either on blankets, baby jackets, and in many other things. But well, before we start, don't forget to subscribe. Now, I will give you all the steps. Remember that if you want to buy and use the same materials that I use in all my videos, you can visit my online store www.lauracepeda.es. Well, with one thread of the color that you have chosen to start, we are going to take one thread and with our hook of number 4, according to this weight yarn that I'm going to use, and we are going to make a sample of 30 chains. So we are going to make 30 as a base chains. Remember that I always suggest that you make a sample with the yarn and with the hook and also with the person that you are going to make this for to know exactly how many stitches you will need. In this case, I'm going to make a sample of 30 chains. So after the 30 chains that I have just made, we are going to continue with the stitch. Well, we are going to crochet 2 more. We are going to count 1, 2, 3. And right in the 4th, we are going to make a double crochet of 3 crochets. We take 1, we take 2, and we take the last one. Well, like we start is how we are going to finish, okay? We are going to finish with 2 double crochets too. Okay, remember that this first chains will count as 1 double crochet. Okay, so we are going to skip one, we are going to turn over, and in the second one we are going to make a double crochet. Then we are going to make 1 chain and we are going to come back to the stitch that we ended finished, to this stitch right here, you see. Remember that this is where we start the last 2 double crochets. So right here is where we are going to insert our hook, and as you could see, now we have cross stitch. Again, we are going to skip one, we are going to turn over. In the second one we are going to make a double crochet. We are making the double crochets of 3 crochets, and again we are going to repeat. We are going to share the stitch here where we finished the last double crochet, remember? So we are going to insert our hook here. We are going to make a double crochet. You can make either the double crochets of 2 crochets or 3. It's okay. Well, so far we have 2. Well, now we are going to make the next one. Remember, we are going to skip one. We are going to make a double crochet. We are going to make 1 chain after the next part of the cross, and we are going to come back to the last double crochet that we made, and right in the same stitch we are going to make the double crochet. And again, we are going to skip one, and in the next one we are going to insert our hook. We are going to make a double crochet. Remember that, as I told you, you can make of 2 crochets or 4 or 3 crochets. And again we are going to repeat, okay? And this is basically the sequence that we are going to follow. Remember that right away we are going to go with the next stitch, and right before to make the cross of the stitch we are going to chain 1. Okay, so we are going to continue the whole row with the same color until we finish with all the chains, and I'm going to continue making the double crochets of 2 crochets, respecting the same number of crochets that I made since the beginning. If you want to make of 2 crochets, well, since the beginning you should have started with the double crochets of 2 crochets. I almost forgot to make the chain in this part, so remember, it's very important that before we cross we are going to make a chain, and we are going to insert our hook right here. So well, I'm going to leave you and I'm going to see you when we finish this row. And well, remember that at the end of the row we are going to finish like we started, with the 2 double crochets at the end. Now we will go up with 3 chains and a double crochet of 3 crochets to have the 2 double crochets of the edge. And look at here, the secret in this stitch is that we are going to make the cross over cross. We are not going to pay attention in the stitches if we skip or not. The important is that we make cross over cross. So for example, right here we are going to insert our hook where we see the last cross finished, and we are going to insert the other part of the cross in the other side of the cross that we made in the last row, and we are going to repeat the same with the next cross. And remember that it's very important that before we cross we made a chain. I forget to tell you in the last cross that we made. So we have to continue following the instructions. Here we go right away to the next and we make a chain before we cross, and this is how we are going to continue following the pattern. If you are making this stitch for a baby, I suggest that you use this yarn. I use this Happy Baby and this brand. It's very soft and it's very light, and the material is amazing, and you can create something amazing. I always like to use this material when I'm making a more complicated, if you can say, a stitch, so you can tell the stitch better. Okay, instead if you are using a more chunky material where it's difficult to tell the stitch that you are making, so your work will look better with a more light material, with a more fine material like this one, and especially if you're making this for a baby. But well, we are going to continue. I think that in the next row I'm going to change color. In this case, I'm going to use a pink color, and I'm going to repeat the same. I'm going to go up with the new color. I'm going to start right away using the next thread of color, and I'm going to continue basically follow the same stitch and the same instruction like we have been making, okay? I'm going to finish, and right away in the next row I'm going to change color. I'm going to go up with the new color, okay? So let's continue. I'm going to change color now, and let's see how it looks. Well, as I told you, I changed color right away. I used this pink color. I go up with the new color right away, and as you could tell in the edge and in this side, I didn't cut the thread. I just hide the thread behind, and I didn't cut. I just go up with the new color, and that's it. I think that I have teach you this technique in previous videos where I teach you that I go up with a new color and I continue with both threads, and when I need one color I change one color. Well, but remember that this is a sample, and you can tell this sample as an example of how many stitches you have to cast on. If you need to fold, if you need to divide your armhole, well, you will see how many stitches and how many yarn you will need exactly according to this sample. But well, I hope that you have found this stitch very useful, and I hope that you use it in your coming projects. Remember that right now I'm sharing a small but very useful projects. I know that we are passing through a very difficult situation, so we need to make something fast, beautiful, and that you can sell and you can start your own business. But well, thank you so much for watching. Bye!